Oh man, we're getting right into this. Nothing I can do about this. Give me a second. Oh man, so much is going on. Calling my co-caster, trying to get this thing ready. Turn down the music. It's good music though, too bad. Little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Clan War between Ris3n and All Inspiration, part of the Alpha Starcraft 2 Team League. Should be joined any moment here by my co-caster, but we're going to get right into this game. We're going to take a quick look at the map. First map, actually, a PvT, Exiled versus Eternal. This is a best of 5. Fantastic format here. Lovely format. Thank you, everybody, here for joining me. Let's take a quick look here in the top left-hand corner. Representing Ris3n, the yellow Terran, it is Eternal. His opponent in the bottom right-hand corner, representing All Inspiration, it is Exiled. All right, so what I'd like to do is take a quick look around this map. Kind of take a look at the terrain, the approaches, and get a good feel for what we have here. We look from the main to the natural, nice small ramp, very standard, but this here, a nice wide opening between the natural and the potential thirds. One potential third over here horizontally along the bottom of the screen, and it continues over here to the top right. Big opening. Much to defend, if you will. Big gaps, not really a ramp, no advantage to the attacker, which really gives the aggression an upper hand. If we take a look over here at this ramp, we do see a relatively standard opening. We have the barracks going down, and the Reaper pre-positioned, the Reaper pathing pre-positioned here. Joining me now on the call is my favorite co-caster, Goner. Say hello, Goner.
Ew.
You're not in this game right now. I didn't think to do that. I didn't think
He's talking about things that I can't see.
I know, I'm getting all the stream ready, and for some reason it didn't occur to me to even get you into this replay. So, to get you into the match. Oh, that's bad. That's brutal. So, what we'll do is we're just gonna banter. We're gonna talk back and forth. We're gonna maybe we're gonna pretend you can see it all.
All right, I'll blind cast it.
What do you think about this probe going across the map right now?
I think it's a smart scouting option. He's gonna be able to get some good info off of that, and hopefully he can dipsy doodle, find that info, and head on back home to the base. Early scouting is one of those critical things in the game that's only done at the top levels. Well, effectively. If I do it, I'm just killing a probe. And then I don't actually watch what's going on the other side either. So I'm like, well, my probe went over there.
Yeah.
They have a base.
Well, he'd already dipsy, he'd already doodled. I gave you the wrong probe because he was moving back home, but this Reaper getting a little bit of damage here as he gets, 2 kills, 2 probes down. Stalker is going to come out and chase us away, and he's going to get out and escape nice and safe. I do like Dipsy Doodle, though. I'm going to use Dipsy Doodle in all future engagements.
They're Dipsy Doodling left. They're Dipsy Doodling right.
Dipsy Doodling. Hello, Ris3n Cyber. Thank you for the follow. And if it's a little laggy, if more than one person is noticing that, let me know, and I'll see what I can do about that. I do have a relatively high bit rate on these games on my stream, and lowering that might help. So, or maybe lowering the quality on your end. But please, if it's a constant problem, let me know, and I'll start tweaking. Taking a look around here. Tipsy Doodle. Just a couple gates, an observer coming out. Stalker. Over here for Exiled. Nothing too spectacular or aggressive. His opponent gets a bunker out. Nice safe option here. Puts his Reaper inside of it. Protecting off from any kind of light early pressure. But since he knows his opponent's not conducting any kind of heavy all-in, he's feeling a little safe. He's going to tech up a little bit. You see the starports going down in this 1-1-1 configuration here for the Terran. Yeah, this is one of those problems I think I'm still figuring out as I go to stream. Sometimes people have lag, sometimes people don't have lag, and trying to find this common denominator between why it's happening, it's kind of a toss-up for me.
I know too, because when I was streaming, I know some of my people were like, hey, it's lagging really bad, and I think sometimes it depends on the web browser you are using. Was what I have heard, so maybe try another web browser.
I'm told that Microsoft Edge is quite fantastic. Might look a little bit like Explorer, but don't be fooled. We changed the name.
Not to be confused with Internet Explorer.
We do have another gateway coming out here. Just a slow ramp up in production. Back here, the robotics bay is the story to be told. Some disruptors coming out. Got a nice micro-intensive unit, but can really get the damage done if placed and played right. We have some. I love this Marine and this Reaper out here on the map. getting vision, getting things done. They're not being wasted. We do have a pickup. Looks like a drop coming across the map here. This Reaper, actually, going to pass right by the observer. Oh, yeah, looks like he's going to see that. And they're going to get that Reaper, a couple Stalkers here, and that Disruptor to fight that off. Let's go and watch this drop. As it moves across the map, the Observer in a nice position to see any future move-outs. This Stalker is going to spot it, and the response here and the speed of the response is really going to dictate the pace of the rest of this game. Zooming out here. There goes the stem for the Marines that are out on the ground. A couple here now deciding to focus on the pylon, hoping to depower some of these production structures. Gets one of them, backs up, some stutter steps as he's aiming for the second. He's going to depower all remaining structures. Great split there, only getting a couple Marines, getting the Stalker, but it looks like the Marines are dwindling, and they're going to have to return back with half their strength in these medevacs. And you know they're half the strength because only one medevac is full. So, from your position, without being able to watch any of this game, how do you feel about that attack?
Well, you know, it sounded good. He got the pylon down, which, right?
Yeah, he got both of them. Yeah.
Right, which means that he effectively shut down those buildings, which means now he's going to have to put more over to those pylons, which puts him behind, and hopefully the Terran player can snowball off that small advantage he's created for himself, get a couple extra army units out there instead of having to build pylons. Yeah, I did it right.
You did it right.
I'm talking okay?
Yeah, you're right on. You're right on.
Yeah.
I actually, maybe you weren't, because I just changed the bitrate, everybody, from 4,500 to 3,000. Let me know if that fixes it. Yeah, go ahead and type in, go and give them a message in chat. See if you can let them know things may or may not get better. I think the bitrate stays high for me until I restart. I couldn't tell you. Maybe we'll see what happens. But we are getting a little drop here, a little bit of play action here with that Disruptor. But he is going to get the Warp Prism. That's going to stop all future harassment. He does get 4 workers out of that. Much less dangerous than the old Disruptors that could really get that blast in a great position before they exploded, really maximizing their effect. But we're having to deal with, I guess, a much easier Disruptor to handle. So we'll see if the bitrate has to do. See if the bitrate drops. Hey, thank you for the cheer, taking the #1 slot for the, I believe it's like a 3 or 4 day period. It is gone or GG. Thanks, buddy.
You gotta read the rip poof part.
It does say rip poof, Shazam poof, losing lead. We have a little bit of engagement coming up here. Looks like these Stalkers are getting to a good position. A couple Disruptors here. It's going to be about these Disruptor shots and the use of the stem. The good spread by the Marines. They're taking those shots well. Marauders getting a good position. Widowmine's moving forward to hopefully find some good burrow locations, but getting picked off here by the Stalkers that first set. These Marines look like they're going to get these pylons in this first base as Exiled pulls back to take a more fortified defensive position, warping in more Stalkers in support. Coming forward here, hoping to pick off a few Marines before they get away, and that Nexus goes down. I got to say, like, a laggy stream is one of those things. It's frustrating because I don't have the tools necessarily. Ooh, great blink micro right there. I love that. Pulls back just as that missile fires, and he's able to pick it off now because Widow Mines have also been nerfed. If you haven't been watching or paying attention to Starcraft in quite some time, they are now visible after they fire.
Chat seems to be doing better with your stream, BT Dubs.
Cool. Awesome. And I think the bitrate has officially lowered, so that's good. It has dipped down to 3,000. I had to up it to like 45 when I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ, because that game was really intensive and fast screen movement, so we'll see how well this works. Taking a quick look, let's get a look at the base here of the Terran. I see an armory going down. Only one, let me make sure I'm counting this right, one engineering bay, one set of upgrades at a time. Take a look at the armor, took a look at weapons and armor. The Terran actually +1/+0. The Protoss actually just finishing up +1 ground weapons. Liberator's starting to come out, kind of siege up this position. The thing this Terran does best is hold ground. It requires a lot more micro, a lot more intensive play. There's that Marine rip. And a good group of Stalkers coming up here maneuvering up around the left side. Looks like the armies are starting to kind of start this dance now, back and forth as they reposition themselves. I don't know if it's the browser. I hope it's not. Hey, Deadpool, hosting my stream. I super appreciate it, dude. Deadpool Arrow 1 2 3 4. All right, these good Liberators are going to make this the optimal battlefield for the Terran, as long as you can get him set up and in position before Stalkers find a good hit. Actually, shaving off a few Marines there, getting one with that Disruptor shot. Excellent Disruptor shots, actually, pulling them back one at a time, getting some... Ooh, excellent dodge there by the Terran, actually split in half, letting that Disruptor shot go right through him. This is very hard to control for the Protoss, but he's not letting the Terran get set up as he's kind of microing back. Take a look at the army supply. It's still very close, 128 to 116. Just a 10 army supply difference on the field for the Protoss. That is just actually caught it right there with the next set of warpins. Looks like they're going to jump in the medevacs and go home and fight another day in the battlefield that they choose. Actually, unfortunate right there for the Liberator. Looks like he was trying to go forward and get some harass. Ran right back into those Stalkers. But we do have a drop now, moving out of position, hoping to get some damage done in another location. But these Stalkers are continuing to move forward. We'll see whether they decide to blink under these and take this fight. There we go. There's the blink. There's one Liberator. There's two Liberators. There's a handful of Marines dropping to Disruptors. Absolutely dirty shots. But remember, that medevac is still coming in on the bottom right-hand side. All right. And getting that last Liberator as Colossus into the battlefield. Take a look at this drop, though, full of Marines and Marauders. Just now spotted by the cannon, getting a few shots back, pulling back the entire army of Exiled as he absolutely drops them all across the mineral line. Probes going down, 11 probes down, 12 probes down. Looks like they're going to get this robotics. Yep. That thing. Blah. Pylons going down, depowering critical tech structures, getting back in the medevac and leaving. He's pulled the entire army back to base to face it off. He actually does get the medevac, gets a handful of Marines. He's leaving a slower army, but the cost of so many probes, 14 probes lost, as these armies continue to tech up and pick their engagements and fight for their expansions. The scans going down. He knows his opponent is recently expanded. He's actually got units nearby that can pull pressure and start to pull Exiled army in multiple directions. Excellent play here by Eternal. Hey, Zem, yes, I am a member of All Inspiration. So many ways we say that. So they're going to stem away, and looks like they're going to live to fight another day. And a nice pull here, for, just enough Stalkers to get some damage done, but not enough where his opponent finds an opening on the other side. Taking a look at the other side, looking at Eternal's army here. A very scary army in the right numbers. We have some Vikings now to take care of those Colossus. We still have a Liberator production coming out, and this is slight shift. There we go. Slight split now, actually. Good dodges from those Disruptor shots. Getting a couple workers in the mix. Excellent Disruptor shots there. Two excellent Disruptor shots. He's unable to pull back, but he's got a nice surround now. But it doesn't necessarily matter. We'll see how this goes as these Colossus have a gorgeous splash damage. Chasing down the second Colossus, taking out both Colossus. The tech of the army completely gone as Exile's forced to retreat with actually a set of Stalkers up here, hoping to do a counterattack. But doesn't look like Eternal's completely out of position here. 9 workers dropping in that last fight. Looks like they're stemming forward, and they're going to chase that back. So let's take a quick look again at the rest of the army here. A little bit of oversaturation there. He hasn't felt safe enough to take a 4th base. He is taking it just now, unless I completely miss. Let me look at these minerals. I don't think he's mined over here yet, but he doesn't mind over here. Blinking forward, they're going to get that Liberator. Army spreading, getting in position. Disruptor shots being fired as the Marines are forced to split. It's stemming forward, forced to stem back. All that stem time actually useful in keeping them alive, but not necessarily maximizing their firepower. Looks like we do have some Adepts trying to get into the middle of this formation. They're going to let that shade finish. And the lasers are going, the rockets are going. Both armies are losing units at a rapid pace, but it does look like Exiled is taking the less efficient fight. Vikings land to add their damage to the mix. And they're actually going to have to run. The fight was so close that no critical hit would have been accomplished here. Excellent job as both these opponents. Really, really close game here. The tech advantage actually is absolutely in Eternal's favor here. +1 shields coming down for the Protoss. But as this game goes on, it does look like we're going to have... He's going to as long as you get this base going, this 4th base going, Eternal's in a very good position to take this game. You can see he's transferring a lot of workers now, hoping to get right back up to about 2.5 base saturation. So we can stay in this game the long run because he's absolutely got the tech advantage. He just needs to find the right battle to close this out. What are your feelings on disruptors?
Is that to me?
Please.
See, disruptors, they shoot the big balls that blow up, yeah?
Yeah. Big balls blow up.
I think that they are cool in theory, and I'm not sure if they've been nerfed, but I feel like when I first started playing, they were definitely more of a threat than I feel like they are now.
Nice pick off there.
I think the problem that I've seen, at least with so far in this, is that the shots come out too slowly. So you have to, I think, to make it super effective, you either have to be a god at landing them, or you have to play with the Oracle that has stasis, correct? And there's so much timing in it, you know?
Hey, thank you, Hometown Crib, for the follow. A little bit. The stasis helps, but stasis does make your enemies invulnerable. But you're right. They were a little stronger. You saw them used a lot more prominently last time you were really active. We do have an engagement here. Stalker's coming forward. But Marine's getting a good surround, good use of stem, but those disruptor balls is Tempest now on the battlefield. Let's see if this changes things as Blink Micro is really prolonging the health of these Stalkers. The second Tempest coming to join the battlefield. Tempest on the disruptors actually getting a lot of damage done. Nice blink onto the Liberator, and he's going to push back his opponent. This is where Exiled gets really technical. I haven't seen a lot of Eternal play. The name is actually familiar. I don't feel like this is the first time I've seen him in a match. But I will say Exiled gets very technical with this spell casting. So what might be a difficult... There we go. You're going to see these Tempests now really shutting down these Liberators from a range as long as he has vision. This use of Stasis Wards coming down, and we'll see if this has a strong impact as Tempest keep the siege going, forcing the Terran to move forward, but only to run into Disruptor Balls as he comes up this ramp. Looks like he's going to have to retreat and potentially give up this entire base as another Colossus joins the fray. Actually, a counterattack over here. Additional pressure, some Adepts push over on the 4th base here. Excellent Disruptor shots landing on the low ground as Terran is trying desperately to hold his position, get all the money he can out of this 3rd base, but ultimately he's having to pull the workers. There are the Adepts here. While this attack is going, while Eternal is giving everything he's got to keep this pressure off of him, the Adepts are doing massive damage in the mineral lines. A couple Marines, a couple Vikings coming here to push this off, but his forces are so split and so spread out right now. Exiled is getting massive amounts of damage, and take a look at the worker supply is close, but the army account says it all, and that's a GG! All right. First game goes to All Inspiration, and let me go ahead and try to get my co-caster in here. Do we have room for one more obs? All right, excellent game. Actually, very fantastic game. Very back and forth there. And I assume as you're watching it, anything you really like there? Anything in that match you really thought was key? Hey, Professor. Hey, look at that, Dr. Prof. Lenny with the 10 cheers. You're a bomb. Bit boss he is. I already hear the typing from Gunner. Let's see. I don't have... I'll invite you. Are you in StarCraft, right?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. I need invite. I'm in the lobby. Oh. Where are you? Invite to game. There he is. Daniel Horowitz. Your name, your StarCraft name.
Ooh.
Or is that your battle tag that I have?
I don't know, but I don't like that it's my name.
I don't know how to like. You go ahead and accept. That's not your StarCraft name though. Your StarCraft name is something else, right? Why do my
StarCraft name is Rip Lazarus, like most of my things.
But you see me as Casey, don't you?
Oh, what? Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. Nope. You're on stream. It's all right. It's such an uncommon name. You're fine.
That's cool.
Boom.
I don't have any social media either, so it's not like anybody can actually do anything. I don't know how you're doing this this 2-minute delay thing, because I can barely keep up with the 10-second delay. Like when people chat, and then I'm like, oh god, what did I say 10 seconds ago? So
I'm the secret is I'm not keeping up. It's magical. But yeah, 2 minutes so that way nobody can stream cheat. Very common practice when things are live or we're doing these competitions. So a little introduction.
Is this live?
It is live. This is all.
Wow.
That's why we're in this lobby right now, because they're still trying to fit their.
Oh, okay. I was not aware of this.
Yeah. So let me give you a little bit of background here on my co-caster. Excellent friend of mine, long-term guy. He's the funny man in this combo. He's the guy that people actually like to listen to.
Stop.
I like to. I kicked from lobby because we have another lobby, I think. But he's also my silver friend who I like to bring in and put on the spot for really high level technical strategy stuff. So you have to forgive me when I do that to him. And he says something ridiculous because it's just all part of the plan.
I'd say that I make good calls.
I think you do. I think you do have the good analysis. It's that game knowledge.
Yeah. So silver Zerg, but a heart of gold, which I really wish was Grandmaster, but I guess I settle, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can get there.
What does one have to do to make their heart Grandmaster?
You got to make your heart Grandmaster. You got to listen to a lot of Starcraft songs, get really ragey about Terran. Hey, Draconic Storms, thanks for the follow. Man, this is a game. Both these teams are really coming out to support this. So, hey, thank you, Ris3n, for the presence. Thank you all, Inspiration, as always. You guys are fantastic. And it looks like our next game is between Got Quail and Perilous on Backwater Ellie. Now, I like Backwater Ellie, I'll tell you this, because it just feels like what I imagine a StarCraft match would look like in Louisiana. Oofda. Backwater, come on. No, really, though. It looks like a nice swampy, kind of this like muddy, murky feeling to it. It feels good. And actually, I really love the map placement. I'll talk about that a bit after the introductions. So we are 1-0 for all in this best of 5 Pro League format. And thank you again for Alpha StarCraft 2 Team League for running this show and actually giving us what was a really, really amazing first game. Anything you really liked there? I don't know if I got that answer from you.
I was like so delayed, so I was hearing you yell things, and then I waited 2 minutes, and then I saw it happen. I don't know. I mean, from what I could tell, it was kind of like Terran got a little bit of advantage early on with a couple picks, and I think the Protoss did really, really well to try and claw their way back in, but from what I saw, it just kind of seemed like it was a gentle snowball, if you will. There was a lot of amazing micro, to be sure, but I felt like the Terran was able to get a little bit of a lead and then just kind of hang on. But it was a lot of good fighting, to keep the lead. No,
it's such a close game. Usually the first game in these matchups swing heavily one way or another, but that was actually a really fantastic thing to watch. Now that the bits have gone down to about 3,000, people have some time to look at this. Just let me know if you're still seeing any lag or if it's improved. That feedback helps me know what's causing lag for future shows, as I am still quite a little new to some of this stuff. So I'm going to take a look here at Backwater LE. We have spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Member and representing all Inspiration, it is Got Quail.
Should I take top left?
You take it.
All right, rising from the ashes and spawning in the top left corner, representing Ris3n, we have Perilous.
All right, so the thing I like about this map, as you come down here, we talk about this small ramp leading into the natural. This nice open area gives a lot of room for aggression between the natural and the rest of the map, but also gives a nice area for defense as we come down to the third, and we have a mostly secure third base. Really, really good for expanding and really good for taking on that aggression. The only areas that this third base is really open to is this kind of this air here, and then maybe a short drop into this location if you're being real cheeky, and it kind of gives players a sense of safety after a while if they don't see a lot of pressure in this third base, and it's nice to maybe sneak something around here from the top. Taking a look at what our opponents are doing, we do have a 17 hatch from Perilous, but still the 12 pool, maybe 14 pool. I missed the exact timing here from Got Quail. Got Quail going to be really fast. As we're talking about this aggression, so much room for it. All he's got to do is get in here and eliminate this natural to put himself ahead in this game. On the other end, all Ris3n has got to do is defend. But we'll see if the scouting happens or if this is seen. It looks like Got Quail is going to dodge an Overlord, dodge the first Overlord, and run into the second. Maybe.
He's got what, 6 lings on the way?
He's decided to pull him back. He knows where the Overlord is. Waiting until he gets a bigger cluster. Yeah, more on the way, and a Baneling nest. The pool just now finishing for Perilous, and he's going to...
Is he going to spot it?
Yeah, he's going to spot that just barely. He's going to see those lings run by. And his immediate response here will dictate the rest of this game. There he is. First Spinecrawler going down. If he gets a Spinecrawler here or not, I will tell another story. Another Baneling that's being thrown down, immediately pulling one from gas to make sure he has the minerals. And here comes the slow but steady damage on this hatchery. More lings flooding across the map.
He's got a couple lings made, only 2, so he's holding on. So he can probably engage with more than just 2.
There we go. This is that dance we like to talk about. Pulling the right amount of units, doing this micro. Zerg micro is so tough. And Baneling hits is what this is going to come down to. The Baneling nest for Perilous still not up yet, and it's going to allow him some time using these Baneling nests defensively. There we go, to secure. And he's going to tie up these lings. He's going to come here, get one Baneling hit. Oh! Another Baneling stuck there in the middle, going to get a couple more lings. No Banelings make it to the mineral line, but it does look like they get the queen. One more Baneling to survive. A couple Banelings from Perilous being morphed in here. One more defensive Bane. And it's going to that might make Perilous a little timid, but he is coming down here to try to save his queen. And there's the GG, and Perilous takes the victory. Good aggression, but not quite enough. And we tied up 1-1. Wow. Those are some games. Like, up until that last moment, right? There's a rough Baneling connections, rough micro there. I won't say rough, but like this back and forth. So very good job for Ris3n's Perilous and GG. So what did you like about that match?
I'm always a fan of like some early Baneling rush with the, oh my god, I can't remember the blow up boys' names right now.
Banelings. Blow up.
Banelings.
I like blow up boys.
Did
you call it a Baneling rush and then call it blow up boys?
Yes, I did.
Like they're the same.
Shush.
No, blow up boys. I like it. So the blow up boys.
Yeah. I always think that's really fun to do, honestly. I mean, I think what that just came down to is Banelings not hitting, maybe the critical targets.
Okay. Necessarily
not getting the disruption off. That's my only thought on it. Is just just kind of you went for a very fast, aggressive style, and you're just a little bit off on what needed to be accomplished by it.
Sure.
And then it's one of those things where if you commit to it and it doesn't go, the way it necessarily needs to go, then you're a little bit behind, and it's hard. It's an all-in strategy. I put it out there in the beginning. Like, all he had to do was defend that. All he had to do was keep just enough lings alive to give him the advantage. And we saw Got Quail tap out. Right. Again, silver. So I don't know. But my thought is with the Banelings, obviously you're looking to keep your lings alive, but if you can just run the Banelings past and have them connect with the drones on the natural, I feel like that's something you take.
And that's the goal, right? You're trying to get 2 Banelings in, because it takes 2 Banelings to destroy a drone. So you're trying to get 2 Banelings in with a solid 4 or more workers killed. And what that does is slows down the mineral collection of your opponent's army. That slows down their production of army units to respond to you, and you eventually have too many lings for them to handle. But it does. It's Zerg. Nycro's got it. It's Zerg micro. You have to be on top of it. One Baneling hit in the wrong place that's game. And what we saw there was
right.
Banelings just not getting the hits that they needed to close it out. Looks like the next map is Biogenesis. Now, this is also a map I really love. It's very short distance. The third is a little separated from the natural, so we see a lot more aggressive plays coming from this map because it's harder to defend that third. The ramp into the natural has many avenues of approach. But this looks like it's going to be All-In's Boo versus Ris3n's Prototype. This is a ZVZ, also a map, just like we just watched ZVZ, very aggressive and fast map. So why don't you go ahead and kick it off there, pal?
Oh boy. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner in the Kelly green, rising from the ashes and representing Ris3n, it is Prototype.
I love that. I love the Ris3n from the you're giving them all the respect they deserve in this best of 5. If they have shown absolutely fantastic performance. His opponent in the top left-hand corner, All Inspiration's favorite caster and stream boy, it is Boo Radley. All right, so take a look at the supply. This is going to be this game of who's making supply win, who's making army win. If they're making drones instead of army, are they paying for it? Is it something their opponent's going to punish them for? And again, in the short distance, this opener, this first couple seconds, we do have a spawning pool going down for both of them, but one came a little faster, and one was accompanied by a gas. So, quick expansion here from Prototype. So, it doesn't tell us a lot yet, but we'll see in a few moments. This drone looking like it wants to expand, opting for a safer, less economic play here for Boo.
The two overlords waving hello to each other as they pass each other in the middle of the map.
I love it. Just you look at the art for these overlords. Not like now, not zooming into it where I'm at, but they're supposed to be massive. These are supposed to be huge, colossal structures, like the size of my apartment building, large.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean they look like just what we call them, just tiny little red boys here, tiny little flyy boys. Is that what we'll call them?
I think they should be called Zerg manatees because they look like big space cows.
Ooh, little flying cowboys.
Cowboys, flying cowboys.
Not to be confused with cowboys, but Cal Space Boys, BOI. Because if I have to spell it out, it ain't funny. A couple of links here for defense on Boo's side. Looks like he's seen that it was a slow hatch. You can compare that to his own hatch. I know it came out a little later. He's put out the spine crawler for a potential defense here, but it is just 6 slings coming across the map. A handful more being morphed now, but they look like they're just for defense, just like they're trying to scout and get some poking done. But Boo realizes now that he is a little bit behind. But this spine crawler, this second spine crawler here, he's forced out of his opponent, is a drone and does a little bit. Matters a lot less in the late game.
And Prototype looking to build a Baneling nest here.
Ooh, I love it.
Which Boo already has. That's probably why he went for that early gas too.
Yep. Get some Banelings morphed out. Looks like he's morphing down here at the bottom. And I like the Baneling nest here. It's both a wall to protect his workers, but it's also protected by the spine crawler. The Queen trying to push back these units, but that moving of the spine crawler down to the bottom goes a long way. Queen target firing these Banelings, trying to get great connections here. One good connection with the Lynx, one missed, and a handful of workers, one worker actually, damaged here in the line.
Yeah, did a good job sneaking him through, but just didn't quite connect.
I love that spine crawler, but he can just go around it now. It is a mildly slow unit. He's going to try to get some damage down here, but the Queen's in a great position to prevent us around, and Lings are coming in here to save the day and push everything back. He's actually looks like he's going to lose all these Lings, so that pressure that Boo is trying to apply here might backfire as a counterattack would be a very smart move by his opponent.
Yep.
In response to a potential counterattack, looks like he should see this or know this is coming, but I don't see any spine crawlers dropping. Only
2 lanes.
Yeah, 6 slings, a couple Banelings now.
Yeah.
He's a little behind on the response here, but Ling's actually splitting down 2 sides. Looks like they're going to get this Queen down here. They're going to try to find some work down here, get a surround on the Queen at the top. 1 Queen goes down. The rest of the Lings falling to response Lings. Second Queen goes down. Yeah, excellent job there getting those Queens. Drone starting to fall. Defensive Bane's actually not getting all of them.
Yeah.
So, taking a quick look at the worker count, we do see it's 21 to 30. Prototype taking a kind of a commanding advantage. I don't want to say lead, but a commanding advantage now. But he's already ready for this counterattack. He's got the spine. He's got some banelings being morphed in. But he has to protect this third. The spine's not going to be there to help him, and he's outnumbered a bit by the lings.
Yeah. I thought Boo did a good job to hold there. I would have panicked in that situation.
Well, these are very high level players.
Yes.
They have to be used to this ZVZ pressure. This is what ZVZ it tends to look like, right? This is why we all hate it. Because it's even worse because you can't blame your mirror matchups, right? On balance. Queen coming out here. Oh, good. Oh, disgusting Banling connection there. All of Boo's army completely obliterated. Great connections there.
A smaller portion down, but gets cleaned up pretty quickly there on the third.
Queen's actually moving out. Look like they're walking across the map. Nope, they just wanted to get that Banling. Keep it out of position. Handful of links here. Let's see if this little guy gets away. There he goes. One link pulled aside to handle that. A couple drones out here out of position, probably from a bad rally there. And a bad hockey. We do have a Roach Warren going down. Now, Roach Warren's changed the game, but while this Roach Warren is building, he's very vulnerable to this push. And he's going to see these Banelings connecting, or these Banelings morphing in, and he needs these Banelings to finish. He needs them to do some good damage. And the micro from Prototype has to be spot on. A couple Banelings actually coming to support this. Ooh, okay, decent hits.
Better.
But he's gonna come home here.
I was going to say, they both have that Roach Warren down, but Prototype did get the Evolution Chamber down as well, unless I'm missing Boo's.
Let's take a quick look. Yeah, I don't think you are. You're spot on. He's got the upgrades going, and this is the advantage he got by having a third, by having a quicker natural, and it's spiraling more and more into his favor. You can look at the supply here, 80 to 41, actually supply block due to that Overlord coming in to try to get the scout. And sadly, there wasn't anything to see either way. Boo coming, knowing he's got to expand, knowing that even as expanding, he's putting himself at a further disadvantage because he can't finish this out the way he is. A decent army coming across the map to continue to apply pressure. I love this from Prototype, keeping the pressure on here, making sure his opponent can't rest, forcing out additional units. Oh, this is actually a solid force over here coming to poke. A good number of lings, yeah. Oh, decent connections there.
A little bit. Got about half of them, maybe a little less.
Yep. And it looks like everything that Boo is doing is currently being spotted now by an Overlord that just fell as it was marching into the natural. Wait, another Eva Chamber just now going down for Boo. And another Overlord dying to a Queen here. This is interesting. Actually, another supply block here for Boo as he puts 4 more Overlords in production.
Yeah, and Prototype actually has a second upgrade going for the Roaches. He has the defense and the attack one going. The attack one's almost finished, and the defense one, he must have started a little while ago, but it is also completing.
I like that. So +1/+1 now on the way for Prototype. +1 just start. +2/+1 on the way for Prototype, and +1 just starting for Boo. So significantly behind. The Roach numbers are climbing higher and higher. I like this counter pressure from Boo, trying to keep the fight on his opponent's side of the map. Right. He's even going to get this Queen.
Prototype did take a 4th base though.
Yep. Oh.
Got that down and up.
There's a couple things here going for the Queen. It's going to slowly transition into a Roach fight. And at this point, I think Boo needs to be left alone if he's going to have any hope of coming back. He's even got his Roaches spread out because he's got to be this defensive. He's got to be in all places at once. But a good solid A move.
His Banelings down in the middle there, right around in between the second and third, and then walking the Roaches up to the third, probably looking for some sort of harass there to try and slow down. Got the Roaches on Roach battle here.
And there's the GG. Yeah, well-timed GG there. Second game goes to Ris3n.
Good game. Learning a lot.
This is just that back foot Boo found himself on real early. Wasn't able to get a lot of damage done with his safer play, I guess I would call it. He turned his safer economic build into a safer aggression build, and was just didn't do enough damage in the beginning, and it seemed to be what spiraled for him there, out of control. So looks like we're going to go into game number 4 soon. Now that's going to be on, if I'm tracking my maps right, which, wait, nope, I'm not. That's going to be on Acid Plants. And that's going to be Nicro and Fight Some Crime.
Fight some crime, I like it.
Fight some crime. Crime fighter boy.
I was gonna say you could make a housekeeping business like similar, and it could be called like Grime Fighters or something, and you get one of those old police cars out of auction.
Ooh, like Ghostbusters hearse, but a police car.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a movie deal coming for you, though.
I don't know, man. I'm a pretty good writer, and I'm pretty convincing, pretty persuasive when I want to be.
Grime Fighters. You need a theme song. What would that?
Grime Fighters. The only rings we care about are bathtubs, and then they got like their.
Wait, you care about the bathtub rings, or are you not trying to eliminate them?
No, like they care about them, and that they're like trying to fight them, obviously.
Yeah, bathtub
Imagine
rings.
like they're like double-handed like Windex bottles and just.
Is your toilet filthy? Do you not want to do it yourself? Who you gonna call?
Grandfather. Well, we can't rip off the Ghostbusters.
I think we already are. We got to go full blown.
Full blood. And then we'll just make it like abundantly clear that that's what we're doing. We'll have a little like X sign that they have with the ghost. Instead of ghosts, we just put like a pile of dirt.
A pile of dirt, just a pile of shit, with a no shit allowed sign.
I don't know. Good game, yeah. 2-1 Ris3n at the moment. That's right. Ris3n out here after a game 1 loss, comes back with the 2-1.
And no completely one-sided games, but Ris3n has shown fantastic play in all 3 games. The one game they lost was so close the entire time, and it just came down to that that very finite micro control they showed. Handling of the. Excuse me, let me eat some words. That game came down to the very fine micro control we saw from Exiled, but the rest of their games. So, that one was still fantastic from the Terran. Actually, let me say his name. That first game was fantastic from Eternal, and that just came down to the micro. But the rest of them has been really, really strong performances from all their players. So I'm really looking forward to this next game, because if they're saving their best for last, this could be a stomping for all Inspiration. I mean, obviously I have a bias, but I got to do my best, right?
The stomping grounds.
All right, let's invite you here. All right, so this one, Acid Plant LE with WCS Gameheart. I like that we're doing Gameheart mod now. I'm not missing any of those upgrades finishing. I'm not missing the worker kills. Because they don't always show up without this mod, so maybe I'll try to get people who play the All Inspiration to start using this a little more frequently for me. Just a better UI for us to cast on.
Can you see the chat going on?
Yeah, let's see.
That's funny.
Join the lobby. I see Z. Yeah, so Stillfly asks, Nicro, how are you today? Nicro says, terrible. When Stillfly asks why, the answer is Zerg is still in this game. Taking a look at the upcoming matches. Actually, this is Nicro. This should be Nicro and Fight Some Crime. And actually, we don't know who is going to be next. So they get to resurrect a player that has already played for Game 5 if we go that far, if All In manages to tie this up again. So, this is actually going to be a ZVP, so we're good. This is a PvP. Oh, eat my words. PvP? Nicro and Fight Some Crime are both Protoss. So we're just waiting for Fight Some Crime to get into this game.
Back with some tech boys. I like it. Had a lot of insect boys go down.
All right, so I'm going to do this real quick. Just taking a moment. I'll be right back.
Should only be 1 second in this game, so I don't have to play DVC. Well, Uncommon has made a grave mistake and left me with his stream. I hope all of you are doing well out there. You know, I do my best to bring you the quality commentating you deserve from your resident silver player. Silver Zerg, that is. I used to play Protoss, but I haven't played that much, but I try. I do my best, and that's all anyone can ask of me.
Alright, I didn't think I'd miss anything, and I didn't. I had to use the bathroom. I was like, I'm going to hold it for this next match, but then I realized it was PvP, and that could just go on for 30 minutes.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I'm excited.
Oh, so excited. So why you only had to work till 1:30 today? Why?
Because it started at 8:30.
I mean, I thought you had like your day broken up into 2 blocks. I'm just wondering why.
Oh,
what happened?
Spring break. That's why. That's why my schedule's wonky this week.
Oh, okay. Well, good. Then you get to hang out with me more, and we get to play more video games.
Yeah, chat. I went to the museum today, and they had a fandom exhibit at the museum. And I got really excited because My Hero Academia was playing on one of the TVs, and all of my kids looked at me like I was weird while I was trying to explain it to them.
Wait. So 2 things. What's fandom?
You don't know what?
What's
fandom? Is it's like a group of everybody who showed up here today could be in the Starcraft fandom. Like, you are a fan of
So this was a museum full of what? Because I could be a fan of pineapples, and I'll put pineapples.
It's a regular museum. It had an exhibit about fandoms though. So there was like a part about like Marvel fandoms, comic fandoms,
anime fandoms. But it had My Hero Academia there. That's really fresh for a museum.
I liked it. Then they had a bandom part of it, and it was like all my Teenage Angst music, and it made me so happy. It was like MCR, Fall Out Boy, and Panic at the Disco, and it was just this whole room of like their shirts and like TVs playing music videos with them and talking about them, and I thought it was the funniest thing.
Oh man, what is you said? Oh, bandom,
yeah.
Oh god, these are weird, so weird words for a museum. No, that sounds awesome. But your children, the second thing I had, your children didn't understand.
They're you know, anything that isn't on the radio for them isn't cool, isn't hip, you know? So I was like, oh my gosh, is my childhood Fall Out Boy? Yes. And they were like, this music is weird. And I was like, listen here.
Really? Is Fall Out Boy that out of touch with... I didn't think music changed that much. Am I missing something?
No, they're just children, and they don't want to like anything that the adults like, you know?
I thought since like 2008, like all music was kind of the same in the last decade. Like there was like the 70s and the 80s were pretty different. The 80s and the 90s were very different, and the 90s and on were, the 90s and the early 2000s were very different.
I mean, as far as I know, haven't you listened to like only like Starcraft knockoff music since 2008?
You know what? I'm playing one because screw you.
I'm not against it. We're on the same page.
No, you hate it. You hate Starcraft, apparently.
I don't hate. Okay.
There we go, nice and loud. And you can't hear it.
Why are you doing
It's just me.
Okay, that's not even punishing me anymore.
I know.
Just you.
I'm just gonna ignore you and listen to Anna Prosser Robinson.
I heard that you
Not even a real name.
ranked down, that you lost some games and your
Nope, just can't
masters
hear you over this very loud music.
I heard that
Let me turn this down.
you cheese them.
Chat, tell me Anna Prosser Pierogi doesn't sound like a pierogi.
Anna Prosser Robinson.
Anna Prosser Robinson? Yeah, I'll take the Anna Prosser Robinson pierogi, please. It sounds like pierogi. Maybe like an apple and ground beef with like a little bit of taco seasoning. Sounds like a horrible combination.
Looks like we're readying up now. So
Is that gold thing? That's a GM.
yes. Right? Look at you.
I probably stumbled into him, in my 1v1 matches.
You think you probably ran into him on the ladder?
Yeah. I'm essentially top rung on that ladder. Like I'm the little step at the top that says "Do not stand on."
Well, we are getting into game number 4. This one's on Acid Plant LE. It's between Nicro and Fight Some Crime, aka Oh My God, a Banana. They are very similar to MMR, so it's not 1 and 2. Let's not let that gold border, that gold Grandmaster border fool you, because spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, hoping to close out this entire series for his team, it is Ris3n's Fight Some Crime, a.k.a. Oh My God, a Banana.
Spawning in the top left-hand corner is the all-in Protoss Nicro, living up to his clan's name and going all in to keep his boys in this one.
So it looks like he's throwing down the gate. Nothing horribly fancy. Gonna come over here. Another gate. Mirror build.
Identical starts.
You just keep watching and see when they diverge, when they separate. Like, oh, the gas is a little faster.
Oh yeah, they both have gas. Oh god.
Oh no, another gas.
Oh, same thing for both. Riveting stuff here at the golf.
Okay, they're coming down. They're coming down to the bottom. They're going back up to the top.
What was that?
Ooh, another gateway. Double gateways. They both want to check their natural at the same time.
Goodness.
They are sharing a mind, ladies and gentlemen.
It is the hive mind complete.
It's those little tentacles they're using on the back of their head.
Right.
They're even pushing them in the same positions here as a cybernetics core going down now for both players with actually a GG tag on this side and no. Ooh, they deviated. One of them sprayed GG.
How do you spray?
It's a probe thing. It's a probe ability.
It's weird.
Yeah, they introduced it a while ago. Now, funny enough,
here they deviate.
one scouting.
Micro's sending one out. Yeah, he's scouting.
Scouting, or maybe he's proxying.
He's doing the skinny scout. What did I call it earlier? The Ditsy Doodle?
Ditsy Doodle? No, I don't know if you do. I don't know if it was Ditsy Doodle.
Oh, it wasn't Ditsy Doodle. It was the DD thing, though, I thought. Look at this scout boy coming out. So brave. And he finds another probe.
And he goes, oh, that looks very familiar.
And he heads back home.
His opponent putting down a pylon in the back of his mineral line. Himself putting a pylon down there at the natural probe sentry. And actually doubled its depth. So there's your next set of deviations. Look like we're going heavy stalker. And nope, 2 stalkers. Now these adepts are just for information and pressure. And 2 adepts right at the beginning, never necessarily a bad call. You can get information for free. You can do so much damage. Essentially one probe per attack cycle for both of these combined.
Yeah, he's got a stalker at the entrance. Just 2 stalkers now, just chillaxing, waiting for that poke.
They're going to see
3
it now.
stalkers. Yeah. And...
Oh, they're going to get up at the top. He's going to wall off with the shield battery.
Ooh.
Excellent move there, blocking the shades.
So spicy. That was a spicy meatball. And he gets both of them.
Does he? Nope.
No,
One gets away.
I knew that. I play this game.
You do. We did. Looks like we missed 2 probe kills on the other side of the base too.
What?
Yep.
Interesting.
And Shade coming over here, seeing that there is now an expansion. The expansion is going down for both players. The deviation now is Blink versus Robotics Facility. So
both working on getting the warp gate.
Very important technology.
Ooh, what is that? That's a phoenix coming out.
It is. So sentries have this wonderful ability to create a hallucination that they can use for actual scouting data. Now, a little cheeky here, pylon going down by the third base.
Ooh.
It's pretty busted. You should
play Protoss is what I'm hearing.
I mean, if you need to. Protoss OP. What you do is you get a big army and you hit 1, then you hit A, and then you click somewhere on the map where your enemy's supposed to be.
That was cool.
That's the joke. All right, so it looks like we have some stalkers moving across the map here. We have a forward pylon to give them an additional warping endpoint, and we should see just some solid, absolutely solid pressure here coming from Fight Some Crime.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
2 out of the 3 are spelled incorrectly, which means you know it's legit.
It's true. Real names aren't spelled right. But these actually sentries going to do a lot to assist here. Blink Micro going to also do a lot to assist here. It's going to be a little bit of spell casting versus Micro. But these reinforcements so close now that he's got this pylon in position.
Well, little tiptoe dance here.
It is. Actually, a couple of depths being brought in here. Maybe try to split his army. Where's that Immortal?
Nicro, yeah. He's got at least one in there.
Oh, yep. See, this Immortal is going to do fantastic damage. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. I couldn't tell with the color differences, or the color similarities. Those 2 Immortals actually do a lot of damage to Stalkers, so this is going to completely push back the Fight Some Crimes push here, causing him to reset.
Yeah. He got the 2 Adepts back in the,
he did.
the mineral line, though, so he picked off, I think, I saw at least 3.
Yep, 6. Looks like he got 6 workers overall. Yeah. Fantastic damage. Even while retreating, he's able to squeeze out a little more. But he's going to get his Stalkers caught right there. Ooh, a little bit of missed Micro there from Nicro. Exiled in chat says, ooh, I watched Classic do this. And he's chanting, do the thing. But they're back there looking at 2 minutes ago. Ooh, I love the warp in.
That was spicy.
Further, really holding on to this push here, getting that warp prism out of the way. We'll see how Fight Some Crime decides to respond to this.
Micro with the Thai food strats, meaning spicy.
Ooh, getting that warp prism would be a big deal. There it goes down. Getting a lot, 10 workers in the process here. Charge, finishing up for Fight Some Crime. We'll see if he gets a good warp in of Zealots at the right moment to push this back. But those Immortals getting so much done.
The shield batteries, though.
Those shield batteries, yeah, no, good point. They make this a whole different fight.
He's doing pretty well, though.
It looks like he's going to have to pull back. He doesn't have his reinforcements. Pulling away from the shield batteries. Near even fight here. Depends on the Micro and target fire down that Immortal. And that's going to be it. He's going to have to go back. And there's a GG. Ris3n takes the entire series 3-1. Yeah, well done to Ris3n. Excellent job to all players involved. Favorite part of that spicy meme? Because we have 2 minutes of...
Before everybody notices?
Yeah.
Favorite part of that spicy meme? Honestly, I thought the pylon is cheeky and I like it. And then obviously I think one of the bigger things that definitely led to Nicro falling is that warp prism going down. Because without that, he cannot supply the reinforcements in time. You know, from there it's just kind of.
He might have been able to back out and get some stuff done.
Right.
But he stood in that shield battery for a little too long.
Yeah, there's 3 of them right there, and you can't fight on top of them.
Oh. Well, thank you everybody for watching. I'm going to be posting this on YouTube probably shortly after I'll start the upload. It'll take a little bit to process. I'm going to go ahead and leave the YouTube channel now. Probably about 2 minutes. I'll put the YouTube channel in the chat so you can see it if you want to watch these games or show them to anybody in your clan who might have missed this stream. I just don't leave things on Twitch these days. That being said, thank you, Goner, for saving my butt and not making this a solo stream.
I try. I'm not sure if it's better this way, but I do.
Not know if you're what?
I said I don't know if it's better this way, but I do what I can. I can't imagine everybody in the chat's way better at this game than I am. So they're probably just like, oh man, this kid.
Why? No, man. No, man. I bring you on for a reason, and it's that silky comedy voice.
Yep, there's the GG.
Yeah, there's your GG. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and prepare to sign out. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the... I guess I'll just leave it on this, like, Starcraft starting soon button. Or I'll go blank. I'll go blank. And I'll put on some nice awesome music. I think I had some good stuff going earlier. Were you able to catch that when I opened up?
What was it? Like, it was just music. Like,
oh man, let me hold back to it. It was where'd I find it? Oh no, what was it called? I gotta go to my history now.
I don't know. I know there was like a song that was so real.
Was it? Because it felt real.
So real.
Felt so good. There it is, Spotify. And Rhyme Sayers. I'm going to put this on, and I'm going to go ahead and sign out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Daniel, again for joining. And I'll see you actually in a few minutes as I jump out of here.
Okay.
Later.